Okay, this is the Village podcast. I'm Myndel Miller.
I'm Khea Davis.
And I'm Tymesha Williams. And we're back with episode 20.
Yes, it's first Friday, y'all.
Yes.
Whew. So, how's everybody doing? So we start off with how y'all doing? Y'all all right today?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing well. Well rested and everything. I'm doing well this morning.
Yeah.
Good. That is
How about you?
good. I'm okay. Yeah, no major complaints. Happy to be in the number. Is that what they say?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um,
That's what they
I
say.
wanted to start with daylight savings time. Is this coming up? And I didn't realize it was coming up. But there's a bill by a Florida senator to keep it daylight savings, like not to fall back,
Yes.
to stay sprung forward. They want to keep it, and I don't know. So I have to admit, I'm bringing it up, and it's gonna show my whatever, but whatever. I never know which one is which. Spring forward, fall back. I really don't know what that means when we do it. I know one of them, it gets darker quicker.
Mm-hmm.
One, and I don't know what the other one does. So
Daylight longer.
I was like, but I feel like it's the same thing though. It's not the same thing. Darker,
No.
quicker, which means shorter daylight. And then the other one is daylight longer, which means darker, shorter.
Yes.
Yes.
Daylight
Daylight.
daylight savings time and have sunlight at 8:30, 9 o'clock
Yes.
at night. It'd be just getting dark.
Yes.
And is that what we're springing
That's
into?
what we're getting.
Yes.
That's what we're going into.
That's
okay, that's what they
savings.
want to keep. They want to keep the
Mhm.
daylight longer. So they don't want to fall back. So they don't want whatever that one does. I
Yeah.
don't forget already.
Every time it happens, I have reasons why I like both.
Mm-hmm.
I like daylight saving time because I love that it's daylight when I get up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I need that.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that I could get more done in the daylight. However, when the time falls back and it get dark at 6, nobody says anything about you putting on your pajamas at 6:30. It's nighttime. No one says anything.
I forget the sun went down.
Yes, and I'm like, okay, I have my reasons for both. They're selfish.
I prefer to have more light.
More
So
daylight.
I like that it gets dark around 8:30. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I wear my pajamas whenever I feel like wearing my pajamas. This is my house.
Rebellious. You so rebellious,
It's my house.
Don't tell me.
I just can't. Growing up, we had to have on clothes in the daylight. It was just like,
yeah, it wasn't time. It wasn't time. So which one is it, Misha? You said it's light when we get up for work at 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's daylight.
That's daylight. I like that one, especially for children who have to walk to school or wait at bus stops. Like, I like the light. It does something to my spirit every morning when I'm driving in the dark to see kids either walking or they're standing at the bus stop. And I just don't like kids out in the dark like that. So whatever that one with the daylights, I like the daylight saving because it's nice and bright. And we can see you can see us. Nobody's sneaking up on you. Nobody's snatching you into the darkness. Okay, so y'all can tell what kind of child I grew up with, just thinking everybody will snatch children in the darkness.
Yeah. I agree with that, kid, because when JJ was in middle school, his bus stop was it's just a block away from the house, and there was no light on that corner. And at night, in the mornings when they went to school, it was so dark up there. I called the light company and had them install a light on that corner. I told them it wasn't safe for the kids, and there was male and female kids there at 6 o'clock in the morning waiting on the bus in the pitch darkness. I said, there's no light anywhere near them. I said, if you ride by that corner at the time of the bus, like that 6:30, there's absolutely no light.
Did they put a light?
They did. They put a light there.
Good.
Yeah.
It took a couple of phone calls to get in touch with the right person. You like first you leave an automated message, but they got in touch with me and they I guess they had to come out and check for themselves, but they put a light on the corner.
Good. That's good. Yeah. So it's a bill. I believe it's been a bill before. This isn't the first time I've heard them talking about it. So I don't know that anything will happen with it, but if you're listening, and I know you are, legislators, we kind of like the daylight savings. So we like to stay lit. We lit. In case anybody was wondering.
Yes. I like it. I could go and replace this because I don't really drive at night.
See that, Misha? So that's double for you.
Yeah, because I don't drive at night. Yeah. So let me say, I try not to drive at night.
Yeah.
Who I'm kidding. I try not to drive in the daytime.
Okay.
I need a chauffeur.
Listen, I would love, that would be an expense that I would call a necessity, not a luxury.
Yes.
Have a driver. But then also it has to be someone I trust. Because I don't like riding with people that I don't trust. Like on long trips where people, oh, you could go. No, I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to sit up and I'm going to watch you drive because I need to be able to see what you see and what you don't see so I can tell you what you don't see. Like there's a small handful of people that I will fall asleep when they're driving.
That's me. Like, are you okay? Do you need anything? You want some gum?
Yep.
You need something to drink? Like I'm the only person. I'm the person that's not going to sleep. Everybody else in the car sleep, but I'm not. Yep. You want me to come sit in the front because I can make him move because I'm awake.
We'll pull over. We need to stop. You need to go to the restroom. There's a
rest area
coming up. Come on,
that's
you want to do that?
That's me.
You need to find a new station.
It's raining kind of hard. You know, slow down a little bit. I'm the only person in the car awake. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I always been that way.
Same here.
And even on like buses.
On buses?
Even on buses, it's hard. Like I have to be physically exhausted where my body's like, hey, we're going to shut down. You do whatever you think you're going to do, but we're going to shut down for me to go to sleep. Even on a bus, I'm peeking my head up down the aisle. What do you see? What's going on in that big front mirror? I want to make sure everything is okay.
See?
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one.
No, I don't do that one either. I don't do that one either. I remember taking a trip. You know how high schools will have those trips with the seniors and we were coming back and I realized that the driver was we started.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't play that one. So I was sitting behind him because I learned that some years ago, sitting behind him and then, started some conversation to try to, I don't do that one.
No.
I don't do that one. No.
We're gonna talk this out.
Yes.
Tell about your family. Tell about your cousin. Who's your favorite cousin? Who's your least favorite cousin? We're gonna talk about it all. Tell me everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay up. Speaking of drivers.
Yes.
I saw on, social media, this video clip of this girl harassing her Uber driver. I'm assuming he wanted her to wear a mask because,
pandemic.
Whole thing happening out here. She didn't want to wear a mask, got upset, and went so far as to even cough on him.
Cough on him where?
Like she's in the seat behind, she's in the back seat driving, and there are three of them in the car. I'm looking at the article. There are three of them in the car, and she's sitting directly behind him, and she's spazzing, doing the most. And then she just like coughs.
And she snatched this mask off.
She snatched his mask off.
She snatched his mask off.
Okay, wait. So they're driving at this point?
No, he
stopped.
All this is going on because he stopped at a gas station.
Okay.
So when they got in the car, the one girl didn't have a mask. So he drove to the gas station, bought her a mask, and she refused to wear it. And then he was telling them that he's not going to give them a ride. He's canceling the service. You need to call someone else. And she just lost it. Like she was all behind his head, and she snatched his, like, some mobile device. I don't know if it was a phone, a tablet, whatever. She snatched his electronics. He was like, "Don't touch my property." And she was like, "Oh, forget you. You're going to give us a ride. You're not putting us out in the middle of nowhere." But you clearly see they at a gas station.
Yeah, there's not in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you could see the gas station. You could see that they're at a gas station. And she's just going off. And then when she snatched the phone and he snatched it back and told her, "Don't touch my," he turned around and said, "Don't touch my property." She snatched the mask off his face. She broke it. He had like one of those K95 masks. He had on a real mask. And she snatched it off his face and everything. He was like, "I'm not giving you a ride." And they said, "Well, you're going to wait here until our next Uber come. You're not just going to leave us here in the middle of nowhere." But go ahead.
What did he do? Did he call for somebody else to? I think, and by somebody else, I mean
the authorities.
The authorities.
I'm not sure if he called the authorities.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he called the authorities. I think he canceled a ride, and I think he ended up having to wait till the other ride came. But it was 3 females in the car. 2 was belligerent. The other one was just sitting there. She didn't say much. On the video clip that I saw, I should say that. The third one wasn't doing much.
Of course there was a video.
Yes, he was recording.
He recorded.
I guess he recorded all his trips. Okay. He started from his point of view.
Okay.
And then
it was like on the dash.
Yes.
So you could see him, you could see them in the back. It was like the perfect, you could see it all.
Yes, you could see everything. You could see him from like the waist up, like from like chest up, and you could see all 3 of them sitting behind him. He had positioned it perfect. And that's probably something he always does. Yeah. Just for his sake.
That makes sense.
Well, yeah, in this day and age, everybody's recording everything.
Yes. And after I should say, a deep dive of the internet, after spending too much time on the internet, I saw a link to her social media page, and I saw some of her video. Even her video with all you see is the back seat. You just see the back of the driver's seat. You don't see any people.
Right.
Even in her video, they're still in the wrong. The guy's asking you to wear a mask. You getting all ugly with him. Said, "Well, before I started recording, he was screaming and yelling," and I'm like, I don't know what to say, baby, but sometimes you cause your own trouble.
The bad behavior is bad behavior.
Yes.
So if he's screaming and yelling at you before you started recording, why do you still want him to take you someplace? If it was that combative to where you felt like you had to get ugly, it sounds like, I didn't see that video from her. I saw her talking about something else, completely trying to justify herself. But if he did that and he pulled over, I'm hopping out. Like, I don't want you taking me in. I don't want you in my space. I don't want to be in your space. I'm going to go ahead and get out. Thank you for pulling over, because now I can get out and get another Uber, and you're going to get a 0, negative, whatever the rating is, because you yelled at me. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm not going to tell you, you got to take me where I.
And he said that I'm not charging you for this ride. I just want you to get out. He said that in the video. "I'm not charging you for this ride. I just want you to get out. You won't wear a mask." And I think what people need to realize is, when you coughing on someone or any bodily fluids near someone during this time, you're endangering them, whether you know it or not. Because you don't always know your status. You don't know that you're COVID free. You don't know that.
Couldn't that be considered assault?
It should be.
What do they charge the people with that knowingly infect others with STDs? Don't they charge them with something? To me, this is that same kind of thing.
I'm not sure what they were charged with, but 2 of the girls have been charged. One of them turned themselves in. The one that was doing all the screaming and yelling have not.
Yeah, no, she's not gonna turn herself in. They'll have to go find her.
Yes, she's lawyered up.
Here's my advice to the police. If you want to find her, check her social media.
Yes.
She'll be live soon.
Yeah. She started a whole new social media just for this. So yeah.
They know how to find people.
Mm-hmm. They know their names. They know the full names. They in the article they stated the girl names.
They know how to find people. Yeah. COVID aside, bad behavior is bad behavior. And that's bad behavior. It's not her first time carrying on like that. That's who she is. And shame on that one person who sat there
like
and let that go on.
Because you know your friend.
That's wrong.
You know your friend. So if you know your friend was going to do this. So when she started, or even before she started, look, it's not that serious. Let's just get another ride. Let's just get another Uber. We can get out and get an Uber. He said he's not going to charge. Like it's okay to be the voice of reason when your friend is over the edge. It's okay to do that. You don't have to go over the edge with them.
Yeah, I agree.
Coughing on me is the same in my mind as spitting on me. And I can't begin to tell you how disgusted I would, I think I would react without even thinking about it. It's nasty.
Yeah.
I agree. And they said that it's Uber policy that you wear a mask. So I'm pretty sure when you ordered that Uber,
I wondered about that too. If he says that up front,
I think Uber says it. They said it's Uber's policy.
Yeah. I'm sure.
So he wasn't enforcing his policy. It was Uber's policy.
Well, they need to remind the people as they're ordering these rides.
I think they probably do.
I think they do.
I think they do.
I have not ordered an Uber. I haven't been an Uber since the pandemic, but I did travel and we were going on a tour. And before we could purchase our tickets, at least 2 or 3 times, we had to acknowledge and accept that social distancing, masks must be worn. If you don't comply, you will not be, like, there was a whole, and it was at least 2 or 3 times where we had to click accept, acknowledge, check the box, whatever it is. So I'm sure with Uber, before they could hit purchase or whatever it is you click for Uber, that they had to, now if they read it, something different.
But if you show up to pick them up and one of them is not wearing it, then we're not going anywhere. So it seems to me she wasn't wearing it from the beginning. Then you don't pick them up. I can't take you.
Get in.
These are the rules. I'm abiding by them. I can't take you.
Yeah.
I agree.
So he probably was trying to be nice because Misha said he went and bought her a mask. So he probably was trying to be accommodating. That's not why she wasn't
wearing one. No.
Not at all. That's not why she was wearing one.
No. Well, I think the next time he will know if you show up and they're not wearing one and you say to them, hey, I need, whatever the rules are, whatever your rules are. No, I'm not taking you.
And the girls have been banned from Uber and Lyft.
Good. Yeah, because in one of her videos, she's like, well, that's why I take Lyft anyway. Oh, not anymore, ma'am. Lyft said, no. No, you don't.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I think for me, with the whole mask thing, I think it's okay for you to not want to wear a mask. That is absolutely fine. But stay out of places that require you to wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, no one's going to force you to wear a mask. But then don't try and come into a space where it is their policy that you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are plenty of places where you can just walk in and no one will say anything to you if you don't have a mask on. Go there. Hang with them. But don't try and utilize the services where people are saying you must wear a mask. We see those videos on social media all the time of people trying to argue you down that you're infringing on my rights. No, you don't have to wear a mask, but you just can't be in here if you don't have a mask on. The end.
I agree with that.
The end. Yeah, the end.
So I did a thing, and he clowned me for doing it, but whatever. We were in the grocery store, and a man came in on one of those motorized grocery cart things for the people, and he wasn't wearing a mask. And he went straight to the produce. So I went and found a worker, and I said, excuse me, there's a man over there on a motorized little buggy thing, and he's not wearing a mask. Derek's like, you told on him? I did, because you're not wearing a mask and you're over here on the produce where now people have to come and pick and eat from that, and you breathing all on it. I have an issue with that. No, the policy is that he's supposed to have a mask on. Excuse me, him over there not wearing a mask. There's him. He gonna run you over with his cart. He can try. It don't go that fast. He can try. Sidestep him real quick and shove him out that cart. But I have an issue. Like, if we're supposed to have masks on in this place, let's all have masks on in this place. Especially you're dealing with food. Now, I wasn't going in there for produce, thank goodness, but other people were. So yeah. I never got to be a safety patrol.
I don't know why not. I don't know why not.
I think I would have been a great safety patrol.
You got safety patrol written all over you. Yeah. Do you know?
I see you. No, I don't know. The person who I spoke with was manning self-checkout. So she said, I'll go and tell whomever. And so I just went about my business, but I just felt like at least I did my part. I said something. Now, if y'all don't do anything, y'all don't do anything. When they run the tape back, they'll be able to see that I said something.
She probably didn't do anything. I don't know. And that's a tough thing to have to enforce. I just from what we do before this, and some of the things as a classroom teacher you were expected to enforce with students. That's a tough thing. It can be a tough thing.
I know. I've said, please put your mask over your nose and mouth so many times that every time I say it, I'm like, didn't I just say that? Like, I've said it numerous times. Every time I say it, I feel like I just said it a minute ago. I'm like, I don't think I said it, but I feel like I've just said it. So the kids, and then also, I think they need to be taught how to wear a mask properly. If they know, it's not being enforced well, but some of it's not, I don't think they know. I'm like, if you have your nose out, it's not doing it's not working for you. It's not protecting you. Well, I should say it's not protecting me, because that's what I'm worried about.
Well, when I see them, I tell them, I say, baby, cover your nose. You don't want to breathe whatever's floating around in this air. Cover your nose. That's what it's for. And then, okay, Miss Davis. And it's not combative. It's okay. So when I tell them, I try to make it like protecting you. Protect yourself. Cover your nose to protect yourself. And so, they're selfish. So we want to do what's best for them. But yeah, having to enforce things that aren't necessarily your rules or mandates is, yeah.
And if I'm working at that grocery store, I'm thinking to myself, you don't pay me enough for me to put myself in what could potentially be harmful. You just don't. You just don't. And I mean, there's a nice way to say, sir, and then share with him whatever the store policy is. But then there gets to be a point, if you're dealing with somebody like the Uber girl, you don't pay me for that.
No.
Pay me for that. So.
No, because it could be as simple as, oh my goodness, I completely forgot. That has happened with students who are coming onto campus and, sweetheart, where's your mask? Oh my gosh, it's in my backpack. I'm so sorry. And they take it out and put it on. Or it could, like you said, in Myndel, it could go all the way left. And you definitely don't pay me enough to deal with all the way left. You don't. You don't.
No.
Well, since we kind of talking about schools and students, they're debating about next school year reopening everybody back on campus or still doing the hybrid that we're in. What are your thoughts? Preference?
I'm kind of torn. Let's see. As a teacher, I feel like we all need to be on campus because it's difficult teaching both at home and in the classroom at the same time. However, as a teacher, for my safety, less numbers in the classroom is better for my safety. Think about it. Most classrooms are not that large. Windows don't open.
Nope.
Poor circulation. Still waiting on those AC filters. So I'm just saying, as a parent, I think I should have the right to keep my child safe at home. Because I can't trust what the other 20 kids are doing when they're not at school. So I'm still torn about that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so all of them, they have their pros or cons. I'm definitely not a fan of the split model. I lean towards all or nothing, meaning we can do all virtual, and I'm okay with all virtual, or all in person, but all in person with some modifications so that, like you said, Misha, the numbers aren't as large. I think there are ways that they can play with the schedules and the days so that you don't have to have 25 kids in a classroom and still have 25 kids on your roster, if that makes sense. As a parent who experienced the remote and in person, my son, he struggled under the remote learning. And the minute he got back on campus, grades skyrocketed up. He even said, for a teenage boy to say this, it's like, I realized I learned so much better in class. I was missing a lot when I was remote and there were kids in class. I couldn't hear what was being said with discussions. The teacher sometimes paid more attention to the in-person kids than they did the remote kids. So, I see, however, if all the students were remote, he would have done better because it would have been the attention is focused on this screen and everyone who's on the screen, not, and as you know, Misha, you've done it, Myndel, you've had to deal with the kids in person and on the computer. At some point you turn your back. That's just on somebody, because I've even found myself talking to the screen, and so now my back is to the kids who are in person, or vice versa. I'm talking to the kids, my back is to the screen. So there's, I don't know how I feel about the hybrid. I don't know what those kids who are kind of floating out there by themselves, if they're getting everything that they need. I don't know, but I will say they should consult teachers, some parents, some administrators. They should, what will they call us? Stakeholders. They should talk to some stakeholders, get some students in there before they make these big decisions. They being the DOE for the state and for the national. My 2 cents.
I think it's also hard, even with every student in the classroom. I think it's, as a teacher, you have to be careful that you're not favoring one side over another. Because I know I had a tendency to do that, just innocently. I have a tendency to talk to this side a little bit more than I do, the other. So it's tough. You're talking about your preference would be on campus, everybody with some modifications. How would you do that? How would you do that? I mean, it's easy to say, oh, well, we'll make some changes with scheduling. That's not easy. That's not easy. I knew it before, but in the position I have now, where you're having to consider a whole school, how things affect the whole school, that is not an easy thing. And then you're also talking about money, because that type of thing, it costs. And so, yeah, it's not easy. I know that there are some districts that will have all in person, and then if you as a parent decide that you want your child to be online, then they'll be online, but they'll be online this year. This is what they'll be doing. And if I'm a superintendent, I think that's what I'm leaning towards. You're not going to please everybody.
No,
at all. Not even close. And so I think in person, we all know as teachers, in person is better for students as far as learning goes. Online learning, any kind of online learning, as a full-grown woman, is a difficult. So for young people, it's especially hard. Yeah, so it's tough. It truly is, and I don't envy any of the decision makers in this particular situation. It is tough. It's tough. And then I think about parents who they don't have an option. They don't have that option of their child staying home. It's not an option for them. So it's just difficult. It really is. Really is.
Yeah, this is a very what's the word I'm looking for? It's a time for, people say, out of the box thinking, but I don't know that it's necessarily out of the box thinking, but just we probably won't go back to what we knew as normal. There's going to be some sort of new normal. And if they are crafting, and we've all said education needs a nice little overhaul on lots of levels. So if they're looking for solutions, I would just hope they try and get the opinions of those who are involved in education, and not just those who sit in state capitals or our nation's capital and just make decisions.
I don't see them doing that. I could be wrong, and we shall see, but I don't see them doing that.
Yeah. I see them doing this. Go back to how it was. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to think about it. Just go back to how it was. And like you said, Myndel, if you don't want to do it, then put your kid in some sort of virtual school program, and they can't come back until the year's up.
I'm pretty sure an executive order will be coming down soon with just that wording. That kind of wording. Very soon. You either have this, A choice, or B. And that's it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's tough. It's all the way around tough. It really is. Tough situation.
And then they're going to get into the next part of that once they decide how school will be next year. Then the mask mandate, that's going to be a whole nother issue.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think they're going to wait until summer and see what things look like and what life looks like in the summer. Because didn't the president say May 1st? Every adult will have had the opportunity to be vaccinated.
We'll be able to get on the list.
Oh, get on the list?
Yes.
Oh, that's
by May 1st, everyone will have the opportunity to be on the list. Every adult.
You can get on the list right
now. I can't. Well, if I wasn't an educator, I couldn't.
Right.
Because I'm not 50.
Okay.
So
just on a list.
On the list. He made that clear. You could by May 1st, every adult will be able to be placed on the list. Doesn't mean that everyone will be vaccinated. And then that's just the adults. School are not filled with just adults.
They sure aren't.
So
yeah, that's interesting.
You still have to do those school age kids. And when is that going to happen? Especially elementary ones that touch everything. I've taught elementary and I can't even fathom how it is to teach elementary now. I don't know how you keeping everybody safe in that room. Their little hands are on everything.
They are hand sanitizer crazy. Anytime you touch something, go wash your hands, sanitize. Have to. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what May 1st brings.
Yep. And I think you're right, Khea. You won't hear anything about school masks or anything until like July.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right before it's time to start thinking about back to school. That's when people will, and I think they may be looking to see what all of this does. What does the vaccine do? What are the cases looking like? And I get that. Want to make a decision now, and things could get better. Mm-hmm. They could get worse. Something different could come out. You don't know.
I agree.
So, in the year of 2020, it was COVID, but it was also the year of Black Lives Matter, kneeling, national anthem. And where was this? Oklahoma. This high school basketball announcer coming under fire for his racist comments towards a girls basketball team because they knelt during the anthem. And it was Oklahoma, sorry, y'all, I'm looking at my phone to make sure I get the information correct. It was during the playoffs to get to the championship. And the gentleman, I will not say his name because whatever. He was on a live microphone and he made racist comments. I'm not going to say his racist comments, but things like he hopes that they lose and I can't believe they're kneeling. And he called them, the words that you should not say. And he was a contracted employee. He was not who they typically go with to commentate their games. So I want to make sure I get the NFHS network says that they, of course, will be using their normal broadcasters. They're not contracting out anymore because clearly y'all don't know these people y'all paying to come and talk about these sports games. But here we are in 2021. People are kneeling for the national anthem. And it disturbs your peace so much so that you have to go on this tirade about these young people expressing themselves peacefully. Ladies. Surprising? No.
No.
What?
I think his comments is the reason. His comments show you why they're still kneeling. I mean, you're part of the problem, dude. And I'm gonna stop right there. Myndel,
Yes?
any thoughts, comments?
Many.
Would you like to share one?
No.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yes. It's just it's horrible that it's still happening. Even that don't make sense. Because we know as Black women, we know it's still happening. Okay.
Something happened at work the other day. Something was said staff-wide, and there was some back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I have lived too long in this body with this skin. I am I'm at the place now where there are some conversations I'm not trying to have. And let me say it this way. When I say conversations, am I willing to sit down with someone whose beliefs and views are different from mine and have conversation? Yes. But there are some, and maybe they're not really conversations, but that kind of tit for tat, that kind of, I don't have the energy to do that. There are some things that I don't, it's not in me to let it make me angry anymore. I can't continue to do that. I continue to do that. Come on. When the whole George Floyd thing happened, a couple of people, they happened to be Caucasian, came into my office for some other reason and mentioned something, and one of them said, "This is not who we are." And I just looked at her, and she meant we as in this country is not who. And I looked at her and I said, "But this is who we are.
Mm-hmm.
This is who we are." That's nice that you've been able to have that experience all of your 40 something years, and you actually think that that's not who we are. But that's who we are. That's who we are. So some of these things, and so he was caught on a live mic saying what probably 60% of the adults in that gym or wherever they were already felt, thought.
Yes.
Yeah. But you're right, Myndel. Conversations with people who want to sit down and actually talk, those conversations are worth having. But back and forth with someone who this is how I feel and nothing you say is going to change how I feel, that then it's a waste. It's a waste because nothing I say, nothing I do, nothing you see, nothing you hear is going to change that thought in you. So why even?
Yeah, and one of the things I have always tried to do is, I was telling someone this the other day too, when this whole thing happened. I always try to put myself in the other person's shoes. And so when I do that in these cases, I imagine that I would be angry when I look around and I see some things changing. Things have always been this way, and I see some things changing. I would be fearful. I could, and so I try to put myself in other people's shoes, and that helps me. That helps me. to better, but yeah, it's a bit much. I got some other things to work on. And I'm choosing to deal with some of these issues in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what were you thinking when you read the article?
I was more so thinking, you haven't learned that you shouldn't say that out loud. Is what I know is you think it. Like you said, Myndel, 60% of the people in that arena were thinking it, but you still feel like the nerve, the audacity to I'm just gonna say it out loud because I'm just that bothered and disgusted by what they did that I can't hold it in.
But you're also dealing with people who they have in this particular instance been majority, and they're accustomed to whatever they feel and however they see things, and that's the way it is. So
yeah,
when you look at it that way, surely you understand.
Just say what I want to say.
Surely you understand, because that's what you've been doing. That's all you've known. That's all you've known.
And they've been doing it without consequences.
So it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. That, yes. My thing is, don't come with the apology.
Oh, he already did.
Don't come with the apology. I'm not trying to hear that.
One. It was a sorry one.
It can't be anything. It can't be anything but sorry.
He blamed it on his diabetes.
His sugar was low.
Exactly what he said.
If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. And I have more respect for you if you just say, look, this is how I feel. This is what I believe. Than if you now try to backtrack and, you know.
I think he said his sugar was spiking. I think that's what he said. No. And that's the reason why. And sometimes he said outlandish things when his sugar is spiking.
So here is what I would like
have a piece of fruit with you then.
I would like
walk around with a piece of fruit.
I would like your apology to be, I'm sorry, I'm going to lose my job.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you could hear me.
Like, give me the real I'm sorry. I'm sorry that my income is now going to be affected and I may never be able to coach again. I'm sorry that my employers are going to find out about this. Like, I'm sorry that I'm about to be all over the internet. Give me your real I'm sorry. Don't tell me that you have, as they say, sugar diabetes, and that is what caused you to call these girls racial slurs.
Yeah. Yeah, leave the sugar out of it. Sugar.
Yes. Yeah. Myndel, you mentioned George Floyd. Did you all see the $27 million settlement for his family? I saw that. And so, well, yes, I saw that. What y'all think? What y'all think?
I hope that they don't think giving that family money is gonna take the place of finding those men guilty. Because that's what need to happen. Those men need to be found guilty. So yes, thank you for the money. We appreciate that. However, all 4 of them still need to go to prison. Those are my thoughts.
Do you think the settlement will deter these things from happening in the future? These types of incidents?
No. No. It didn't come out. It didn't come out the man's pocket who did it. It came out the city's pocket. And think about it. Do the city really run? Do they really govern the police? No. No, it will not deter it. No.
So if it's coming out of the city's pockets, that means it's coming out of the taxpayers' pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So the citizens have paid George Floyd's family $27 million for something that the police did.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And that man lost his job. He may or may not go to jail, and he may be on somebody else's police force. Because you know they ain't scared to move to another city.
Pick up and go.
Mm-hmm. And then you won't hear about it until they kill someone and be like, he was fired from this police department for this. He was fired from this police department for this. But yet and still, you knew that when you hired him.
Yeah. Money is nice, but yeah.
And I wonder about their motives. Why did you settle before the court case? Did you settle before the court case because you think, okay, the jury might be a little more lenient on him because the family got the money? Or did you settle for the court case because you was afraid what was going to come out during that court case and the family could have got more money? I worry about them. I think about their motives. But
it definitely wasn't for the family. They didn't do this, for the grieving family.
No.
No, I don't think that's ever the case when something like that happens, when there's a settlement.
Yeah.
They're trying to protect the company.
That's not what that's about.
Whatever the company is.
Yeah.
It's the optics. It looks good. Look at us. We gave them $27 million. Look at us. We did right.
Not yet. Give them convictions.
Look at the money. Look at the money. Hi, look at the money. Hi, look at the money over here. Look at the money. They got $27 million. Look at the money. Don't worry about that other thing over there in the corner. Look at the money.
See, that's what I have a problem with right there.
Well, the truth is, it works in most cases. It works.
So I don't want the family to stop fighting because you've got $27 million.
I would think that in most cases it works. And so that's why they do it, because it works. Mm-hmm. People do things for money, Khea. People forget things when money's involved, especially large amounts of money. Mm-hmm. It's human nature. So, I mean.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep a close eye out here at the village.
I'm not keeping a close eye out, village, just so you know. Khea, Tymesha will be keeping a close eye out. Me, not so much. Me, not so much. No, not so much.
Yes. I think my last thing that I had to talk about, which
You're sure about it?
The interview.
What interview?
Oprah with Harry and Meghan.
I didn't watch the interview. I just saw pieces of it.
I knew there was an interview, but I didn't see any of it. Not even the little clips. What happened?
Well, so I'm going to tell you something, Myndel. I don't think you know this.
This is what I'm saying. This is news for some people.
Breaking news to everyone in the village.
Okay.
The royal family is racist.
That part.
Did you know that, Myndel?
Those are pretty serious allegations. What are you basing this on?
Meghan Markle said
they worried about the baby's skin color. They wondered how dark the baby would be.
How dark is little Archie gonna be when he come out?
Mm-hmm. They were worrying about the baby skin color. And did you notice that when they showed little Archie playing on the beach, that it was a black and white clip? When they showed the baby in the
Who is
Oprah
they?
interview, it's the Oprah interview. They did a little clip of the family playing on the beach. And
Whose clip was it though? Who released the clip?
I guess it came from the part of the Oprah interview.
A part of like when they she didn't just meet them at whatever home they were in. They met at Harry and Meghan. Well, Archie lived there too, so it's his house. Archie, Meghan, and Harry house. She met them over there. So they were in different, I guess, different places. But I think the clip may have been I don't want to say home video, but I think it may have come from maybe Harry and Meghan.
Yes,
Here is some footage of us.
And it was in black and white.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what the conversation was about, then let's put it in black and white as opposed to having it in color. Yeah, that's the media though, you know?
Yes.
So I did feel sorry. I felt sorry for Meghan because she said on several instances, she reached out for help for her mental health. And they basically told her,
reached out to the royal family.
She so she said she reached out to the firm. And so I'm not up on how things work over there, but from what I gather, and Misha, correct me if I'm wrong, like the royal family is like the family. It's the grandma, the granddaddy, the daddy, the stepmama, the brother, the sister-in-law. It's all of them. But then the firm is like the company that they all work for. They work under the firm is what it sounds like. So I don't think initially she went to a family member. I think she said she went to someone in the firm and said to them, like, I need help. Like, I'm not okay mentally. Is there a therapist or someone that I can see? And they told her, nah, bruh, we don't do that. That's not what we do around here. Like, you suck it up and you smile and you put on a dress and you go. And she said that she had serious conversations with Harry, like, I want to end my life. And she was pregnant when she said she was having these conversations. And she was like, they said he had to go to an event, or they had to go to an event. And Harry was like, you can't go in this state of mind. She told him, but you can't leave me alone. If you leave me alone, I don't know what I'll do. So she had to go to this event, but that was heartbreaking for me. The idea of knowing you're struggling and trying to seek help for that, and people telling you, no, you can't get help. We won't give you help. There is no help. Like, that has got to be like, and you think of, she's a duchess. So you think of all the money in the world, and you mean to tell me there's not a therapist that I can talk to? That part, like, royal family racist. Oh, for real? Oh, tell me the new thing. Like that, whatever. But the thing that concerned and touched me was that part. Like, I didn't think that was happening. I'm not surprised you telling me there was tension because you have a drop of black in you. I don't, that doesn't surprise me in the least. Like, really? These are people who don't want their princes to marry a common person. Like, they could be full-blooded white. If you common, that was the issue with Diana. She wasn't of high standard. So I'm not surprised when you tell me that they had issue with you. And they tried to protect whoever these people were, but the family's not that big. So you don't even really have to tell me who said it. I'm gonna just lump all y'all in. All y'all feel that way. But that's me. Yeah, it was.
I wasn't surprised about the racial comment at all. I mean, Not surprised by that. But it's it's unfortunate that they wouldn't let her get help when she asked for help. And I'm pretty sure she's not the only one in that royal family that needed help. So you telling me no one ever received help in that royal family? BS.
Right.
Yeah, but when you guys think about it, the mental health issues, we know that there is a stigma surrounding that. And so why wouldn't it also be true of the royal family? And probably even more so because they are the royal family. And that's how they have been groomed. You keep a stiff upper lip. You have to
perfection at all times.
A certain way because of who you are. So that's an issue everywhere. That's an issue everywhere. And I think we should also talk about the fact that as people of color, there are people wondering about how dark the child is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not just look at the royal family. Come on now. We do that all the time.
One of the first things they look at when the baby's born.
And it's even and to me it is even more wrong for us to do it. So yeah.
When the baby's born, they want to look at their fingertips, look at their ears, see how dark they're gonna be.
Yeah. So people, a lot of most of this is human nature. It's human nature, and yeah. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't look at it.
Yeah. It was, and I will tell you the other thing I came away with, and I did not watch the interview live. I watched, I think I watched a replay online, so I don't even know if I saw the entire interview, but from what I saw, it had to be difficult for Harry to step away from his family. And I'm sure when they did it, they weren't stepping away from the families. They were stepping back from our royal duties, part-time or whatever. But since then, it has become almost like a sever where he said that for a minute his dad wasn't talking to him. I don't think that he's spoken with his brother. So it's literally, you've moved away and now you're not in connection with your family. And after losing your mother tragically, that's what you had. You had your dad, you had your brother, you had your grandparents. Like that was your core. That's who helped you. And now you're in this position where you're saying, I'm not stepping away from the family. I'm stepping away from the duties. And it doesn't seem to me like the family can separate the family and duties. Like for them, it's one and the same. And for Harry's trying to say, it's not one and the same. Like we can still be family and I not be under the employ of the firm. So that was sad because you have children and you want your children to know their cousins, their aunt, their uncle, their grandfather, their great grandmother is alive and kicking. Like you want your kids to be able to experience those things, and it doesn't seem like that is happening for them. So that was the other, and that to me is a universal sadness for me. It's not sad because it's the royal family. It's sad because it's family. Like any family that has that type of thing where you are close knit and you all were so together, and this one little thing, and you say, okay, we're in the family business. I'm not going to do the family business anymore, or whatever it is, and you move away or you go away, and now the family's like, we won't rock with you. And you have kids, your kids won't know the other side of their family. That's sadness to me, not, outside of who they are. It's the situation itself. Got a lot of family stuff going on, so that really boom with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess some people are that way. You are that way. Man, and for me to say much more will make me seem really
Cold.
really cold. But what is that? Is that what that is? That's coldness?
No, I don't think it's cold. You said it would make you seem, and that's what I think others, because I know you, I know it's not cold, but for those who don't know Myndel, yes, it could come off as cold, whatever you're going to say.
He did what he felt was right for
Mm-hmm.
his family.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there comes a point then
that's
you come to terms with whatever those consequences are, because there are consequences for
if you had stayed,
each and every one of our decisions. And so you deal with that and you move and you move on. I would have loved to have, but that's not what it is, at least not right now.
Right.
And I have to go on from here.
Oh yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly. The sadness for me is just because that was the end result. That was just sad that it had to happen. Should he have done it? By all means, if that what is going to be best for you and your wife and your child and your future children, you have to do what's best. Once you take on that role, your husband, father, but y'all have to make the best decision for your nuclear family. And then the extended family, you either you get right or you get left.
I agree with that.
It's still sad, but it is the it's the truth of the matter. Get right or get left.
That's it. Yes. But I applaud him for making that tough, what must have been a tough decision. Yeah, must have been tough.
I mean, but there's also the thing he did mention that he's not struggling for money. His mother left him an inheritance, so he may not be getting paid by the firm, but his mother did leave him money. They did say, which I don't know if since you both didn't watch it, that when they came to the United States, so when they came to Canada first, at one point during their time, they called and told them, oh, since y'all not working for us no more, you no longer get security. So they withdrew all of their security. And they said it was Tyler Perry who allowed them to stay at his home. I think it might have been in California. And he provided them with security in that interim before they, get their own stuff set up. Yeah. It's like, wow, okay, Tyler.
Well,
Perry.
what I will say about, and it's more so about Harry, he, to me, has always been a likable kind of person. He, from, as a kid almost, he was clearly his mother's child. The other son looks like the mother, but Harry is the one who is like her. And, he was always doing the things that he was not supposed to be doing according to, whatever their code is. So he's likable. And when you are, I used to always try to tell my students that when you are a pleasant, likable kind of person, people don't mind helping you out. They don't mind doing things for you. They don't mind. So Tyler Perry, hey, I got another house. I can handle security. Come on, I got you. I don't think if the tables were turned, I don't think that would have happened for, what's the other one?
William
brother. Yeah, because he just doesn't have that about him. It's kind of, so yeah, they'll be okay.
I was watching some coverage of it, so I wanted to see kind of what the people in England were saying about the whole thing. And they were actually talking about kind of the difference between Harry and William, and they were saying, you know, what you were saying, Myndel, that from a very early age, you could see that Harry was different. He wasn't like William, but then someone kind of stepped in and said, well, remember, William was the oldest. So from birth, he's being groomed to be
he's
king.
groomed to take over.
So he can't be carefree. You know, Harry comes through and Harry's like, well, you're not really being groomed to be king, so you get to be whoever you are. And it's a sad thing because, you know, we don't know if William could have been that same type of free spirited, fun kid, but it was the thumb.
You didn't get the chance.
I tell you what, though, I don't think so. I don't think that's I think that's more of his personality. I think if the tables were turned and Harry was the oldest, I think he still would have been doing this because that's who he is. Yeah, I think that's who he is. I hear what they're saying, but I think
William just looked like he's no fun.
He would have been the black sheep regardless. He would have been the black sheep, and they would have had to have some of these conversations much sooner if Harry was the oldest. Yeah, that's just who he is. I think
it was
very likable.
Interesting, you know, like those family dynamics. To think about that, if I was the oldest, difference being the same as I am now if I were. Because I feel like I'm very middle child. Like I feel like I'm very much a middle child, and if good or bad, however you want to take it, I feel like that's kind of me. But I wonder if that's me because
you are the middle child.
Because I am the middle child. If I were the oldest, would I still be this person, or would it be different? Because you know, there's some expectations put on the oldest that aren't put on the others.
I think being the oldest, the middle, and the youngest, I think that all plays into it. Because
who you are.
I think it all plays into it because I'm the oldest. And and I'm in charge. Let me rephrase that. I'm so in charge of my siblings. So if my sister's listening, I am her boss. We have this conversation all the time. Sis, I am your boss.
See, I'm the oldest, but I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way.
I can be like, you can do this, you can do that. I could take charge. That's so me.
No, Myndel, you have a presence. You have a presence. I'm not at all surprised at you being the oldest. You definitely have a presence and a mindset of an older sibling who has to, like Misha said, Misha is the vocal older sibling. I'm the boss. Myndel, you are the non-vocal older sibling, but I'm making the decisions. Like I've calculated what all of these decisions will be, other sibling. So when the time comes and a decision needs to be made, I can let you know what that decision is. Like Misha is very much the so I'm in charge and this is what we're going to do. Myndel, you're more so in your head. Okay, so he's going to come to me. I know he is. So when he does, this is you played it out in your head, I think. But I still think they're that's an older sibling thing. I'm not surprised at you being the older sibling, Myndel.
Yeah, I think it makes a difference.
I don't know that whole thing. So
the younger one always tends to be more carefree.
The
rules are more lax around them.
Yeah, because the parents are like,
The parents realize, we didn't break the first one. So the second one, we can relax a little bit on this one. On this, especially if you're the youngest. Oh my gosh, there's hardly no rules in your life. You know what? The first one turned out great. This one will too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna relax these rules. We're kind of Relax these rules. We always talk about that in my family because we say my youngest brother had no rules. We always talk about that. Like, you came around, they just didn't give you any rules. You were able to do everything. You didn't have any rules.
Well, then you'd also have to talk about gender, because
yes,
raising a daughter is different from
raising, yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that is true too. Where you fall in the sibling rank and your gender, I think does play somewhat of a role.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's a topic for another day. we could go in. We have two olders, we have a middle. We definitely need a younger sibling in here to hold it down for the youngest siblings, because I
would bring mine, but we'll just be arguing all the time.
Myndel and I'll just sit like this.
We'll
just be going back and forth all the time.
Popcorn. Yeah, but that would be a cool episode to have, to get a younger sibling and discuss sibling order, but then to get some males on here and discuss the difference. But it has to be males that grew up with sisters and sisters who grew up with brothers. So brothers and sisters, because I grew up with all girls. I can't really speak to how my parents would have raised boys because they didn't raise any. So it would be interesting to do an episode and talk about those dynamics. I don't know if parents are aware of the differences and the way things work, and I'm sure they'd be surprised to hear what some kids have to say.
I think they would be.
Put that in the files.
Yes.
We didn't even get some parents on here too for that episode. Parents who have parented boys and girls to talk about all that. That's an episode. We may have stumbled up on an episode, y'all. Like the Brady Bunch with all the tiles of all the different people on here. Woo!
You're looking like a staff meeting.
I rebuke that. I rebuke staff meetings in the name of spring break. I rebuke staff meetings in the name of spring break, Myndel Miller. Woo! Please. Yes. So we're gonna wrap up.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes. We are.
All right. So
is there something I'm supposed to do to wrap up? No, you guys wrap it up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Oh. I'm gonna give a charge.
Yes.
So we talked about
wait to hear what it is.
Yeah, me too. We talked about so much today. I don't know where to go with a charge for you. You know what? Because we ended with family, talking about Harry and Meghan and siblings and all of that stuff, my charge is to spend some time with your family, whether it's the family you were born into or the family you chose. Spend some quality time with your family. I know it's COVID, so you may not be able to physically spend that time with them, but FaceTime, Zoom, Skype, whatever it is you do to keep in touch with your people, reach out to someone. Tell them you love them. Tell them you care about them. Tell them they're important. That's my charge, y'all.
I love it. And please share our podcast. You can visit our website, thevillagepodcast.com. Join our Facebook group, The Real Village Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Real Village Podcast.
Yes. And so, with that being said, y'all, Village out.
Out.
Bye.